The island of Taiwan, a nation of 24 million people, sits at the epicenter of one of the most complex and dangerous geopolitical rivalries of our time. Welcome to Asia TV 24 over 7 British Network.
This is The Forbidden Words.
Caught between two superpowers China and the United States, Taiwan is a flashpoint that could potentially reshape the global order. To understand the obsession that both China and the US have with Taiwan, we must first understand its history. After World War II and the Chinese Civil War, the nationalist government retreated to Taiwan, and the Communist Party, led by Mao Zedong, established the People's Republic of China on the mainland. Since then, China has viewed Taiwan as a breakaway province that must one day be reunified with the mainland by force if necessary. Taiwan, however, has developed into a self-governing democratic state with its own government, military, and constitution. In Beijing's eyes, the island is not just a territorial dispute, but a matter of national pride. For the Chinese Communist Party, reunifying Taiwan with the mainland is seen as completing the unfinished business of the Chinese Civil War. President Xi Jinping has reiterated that Taiwan's reunification is a critical goal for what he calls the Chinese dream. But why does the United States care so much about Taiwan? The answer lies in strategic interests, alliances, and ideology. Since the end of World War II, the US has maintained a strong presence in the Asia-Pacific region. For decades, Washington has provided military aid to Taiwan, ensuring its ability to defend itself against potential Chinese invasion. Dependent country. But under the Taiwan Relations Act of 1979, America is committed to providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself. But it's not just about defense. Taiwan is a hub for high-tech industries, particularly semiconductors, which are essential for everything from smartphones to advanced military systems. Global economy is deeply intertwined with Taiwan's technology sector. This economic significance raises the stakes for the US, which sees Taiwan not just as an ally, but as a crucial player in global supply chains. For China, reunification would be a symbol of its rising power. For the US, maintaining Taiwan's autonomy is about protecting democratic values, upholding international order, and securing its economic and strategic interests. The Taiwan Strait, just 100 miles wide, has become one of the most heavily militarized regions in the world. Chinese warplanes regularly test the airspace, while the US increases its naval presence in the region. But the situation is not just a military or economic issue, it's also deeply ideological. Taiwan stands as a thriving democracy, while China is governed by an authoritarian regime. The contrast between these two systems fuels the tensions. To many in the West, Taiwan's survival is about more than an island, it's about the survival of democracy in the face of authoritarianism. The question remains, how far are China and the US willing to go? With each passing year, tensions rise, and the risk of miscalculation grows. Would China attempt a military invasion? Would the US come to Taiwan's defense? These questions keep policymakers up at night, because the wrong move could spark a conflict that would reverberate across the globe. For China, Taiwan represents unfinished business, the last piece of the puzzle in restoring what it sees as its rightful place as a unified and powerful nation. Losing Taiwan, or allowing it to drift further away into permanent independence, would be seen as a national humiliation. For Xi Jinping, the stakes are personal. His leadership and the Communist Party's legitimacy on demonstrating China's strength and uniting all its territories. Taiwan is the crown jewel of this vision. For the US, the stakes are just as high. A Chinese takeover of Taiwan would mean a significant shift in the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific, reducing US influence in the region. It could embolden China to assert more control over the South China Sea and other territories, unsettling the fragile stability of the region. The US sees Taiwan on a bulwark of freedom and a key player in maintaining the rules-based international order. There is also the question of allies. Japan, South Korea, and Australia, all US allies, would be directly affected by a Chinese invasion of Taiwan. These countries rely on the US for security guarantees, and a failure to defend Taiwan could unravel decades of alliances in the Pacific. Conversely, China's success in Taiwan could signal the beginning of a new world order where Beijing sets the rules. Taiwan itself is caught in the middle. For the Taiwanese people, the stakes are existential. They've built a prosperous, free, and democratic society, distinct from mainland China. Most Taiwanese do not want unification under the current political system in Beijing, fearing the loss of their hard-earned freedoms and way of life. As the world watches this delicate balance, the future remains uncertain. Each military drill, diplomatic meeting, and political speech feels like a chess move in a high-stakes game. The question is not just about Taiwan's sovereignty, but about what kind of world we will live in. In the end, Taiwan represents much more than its 23 million people. It's a symbol of the 21st century's greatest challenges: the struggle between democracy and authoritarianism, the battle for technological dominance, and the competition for global power. What happens in Taiwan could define the direction of the next 100 years. Will the US and China find a peaceful resolution, or is conflict inevitable? As tensions rise, the world holds its breath. This has been The Crossroads of Power: China, the US, and Taiwan, a documentary exploring the deep-rooted tensions between two superpowers and the island caught in between.